many times will you let them fool you? Do you never learn? Don't be angry, Madog. I twisted the locket on its chain. It was Aisling, her mother is Duaha, whom I think you know. Madog's face flushed. I know them both. For the first time since I'd met him, he seemed lost for words. He simply stood there, looking past me at the woods where Aisling vanished.
I told Mollie not to talk,
Guest said,
but she told me hush. They make a plan.
A plan? Madog looked at me. Tell me all that Aisling had to say. I took a deep breath to keep my voice from shaking. The kind folk mean to give Thomas to the Dark Lord as their tithe. I suspected that might be the way of it. Duaha came up with a plan to save us all. I wrapped the cloak around me. Madog cried out in surprise. I laughed and pulled the hood away from my face. It's Duaha's gift of invisibility. Guest scowled.
I told you no more kind folk tricks.
With that, he turned to his caterpillar, which had crawled out of its new home.
You like leaf? You like grass?
While Guest tried to feed the caterpillar, I described the plan. Madog listened closely, nodding, then frowning, then shaking his head, then nodding again. It might work, he said slowly. But do you dare enter the circle by yourself, with no one to trust but Aisling? I seized his arm. Please, Madog, tell me I can do this thing. You're a brave girl, Mollie. If anyone can rescue Thomas, it's you. He got to his feet slowly. It's getting late. I'll light a fire and roast the rabbits I caught. Before we'd started eating, Aidan stepped out of the woods and joined us. The horses are fed and tethered. While we ate, I had little to say. My mind was fixed on rescuing Thomas. Aidan seemed to be in better humour and talked quietly with Madog about the horses. Guest moved closer and closer to Madog. When he was almost sitting in Madog's lap, he stared at him so hard that Madog finally noticed. What's on your mind, little lad? He asked.
Are you truly my daddo? Truly?
Madog laughed. Indeed I am, and glad am I to say it. Aidan's good humour vanished. He tossed what was left of his dinner into the fire and stood up. I'll see to the horses. With that, he vanished into the woods. The horses greeted him with a chorus of whinnies, and he spoke to them in a pleasant voice I'd never heard him use. Madog sighed and took Guest onto his lap. Did Aisling tell you?
Yes, but she told Mollie she was ashamed of me.
Madog hugged him. Never you mind what Aisling says, or Aidan either. Mollie loves you, and so do I. Guest smiled. By the time Aidan rejoined us, it was almost dark. Guest had fallen asleep, and Madog and I were talking quietly. What's your plan for tonight? Aidan asked Madog. You know they'll come again, in force this time. We'll have no company tonight, Madog said. It's the eve of tithe, and they have a wedding to attend. Aidan frowned. I believe it's their custom to celebrate weddings with the wild hunt. By then we'll be gone from here. Without the boy? How did you get Mollie to agree to that? Duaha sent her daughter with a plan to rescue Thomas. Aidan scoffed. Duaha? I want nothing to do with her or her plan. It's certain to be a trap. Madog shrugged. I trust Duaha. Muttering to himself, Aidan walked away again. With his back to us, he stood silently at the edge of the forest. Getting to my feet, I wrapped myself in the cloak and tiptoed to his side. Clearly unaware of me, Aidan muttered about kind folk and changelings and treachery. Stop behaving like a half-wit mooncalf, I said. Aidan looked right at me. What sort of trick is this? I hear you, but I don't see you. I'm right here. I pulled the hood away from my face and laughed. In wonder,